Professor Fitzenberger, in September 2019 you became the director of the Institute for Employment Research in Nuremberg. Only 6 months after you assumed your new post, COVID-19 began to wreak havoc on the world. Ever since then you have had to deal with the repercussions of the pandemic. The consequences on the Institute itself and its roughly 400 employees on the one hand, and the consequences on the labor market as a field of research and counseling on the other hand. In a recently published book contribution, you are looking at the aftermath of the pandemic. What are your thoughts about the progress and the recovery shape of the crisis?
This is a very difficult question at this moment because we are seeing rising numbers of infections, of COVID-19 infections. Now we are maybe at a situation where the infection cases are so high that we see a second decline in economic activity. So I'm afraid there is at least the risk of a W-shaped development. Without rising infections, I would expect that about in the end of 21, in 22, we are back to where we were in the beginning of 1920, slowly recovering from this huge recession, this huge crisis.
What is the role of politics in this crisis?
The policies implemented by the German government were enacted very quickly and I think very helpful as a safety net for firms and employees. In particular, the short-time working scheme, which has been in place but has never been so before, but which has never been used to the same extent as we are seeing it now, with almost 6 million employees on short-time work in April 2020, has worked as a huge safety net to prevent a huge increase in unemployment and to keep firms going and employees having income during this crisis and to stabilize the situation.
How is Germany going to weather the crisis?
Overall, I think Germany is doing very well. We have this combination of being sufficiently flexible, transforming the economy, transforming the workplace to the needs which arise after this crisis, and at the same time we have a safety net for firms. Short-time working scheme is the most prominent one, and for workers to prevent very high adjustment costs and deterioration of physical or human capital, so the capacity to produce or the qualifications of the workers, to make the transition towards the new post-COVID-19 economy. Education, training are key aspects, and firms and workers will have to invest into those, have to make themselves ready for this new economy, and the social safety net will help them to do so.
Professor Fitzenberger, thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you, Ms. Winters.